management or ownership of Score North, KSTP AM 1500.
This is the place to talk about everything related to the home. Buying or selling real estate, financing and improvements that can help increase your home's value. This is Minnesota Home Talk on Score North. Here's your host, Jason Walgrave.
Good morning, folks, and welcome back. This is Minnesota Home Talk, and we're live on Score North. AM 1500 radio. We are the original real estate show here on AM 1500. Live every Saturday morning. Of course, on demand at MinnesotaHometalk.com. Check out our website, MinnesotaHometalk.com. We've got all of our fantastic podcast past shows. You can connect with all of our great partners as well. I'm your host, Jason Walgrave with Walgrave Real Estate Group and the Minnesota Real Estate Team at RE/MAX Advantage Plus. We also have in studio the great Michael Ouverson.
You've been working on that. That's nice. That's coming along nice.
I was practicing last
night.
Do
Is that on the drive here? Do you warm up your vocals?
I do.
And then just practice that a few times?
I prefer to roll the windows down through residential neighborhoods.
Stop at random people walking their dogs in the morning. Hey, how does this sound?
They're scared.
You get the cops called on you. Some guy yelled at me through his window.
It happened again. Same guy drove by and yelled at me again.
He's stalking me. You know what I do see, though, this early in the morning on Saturday mornings is I'd say 2 out of the last 5 Saturdays coming into the show.
That's 40%, by the way.
Thank you. See how quickly he's so quick with numbers. I mean, it's like you got a calculator in your brain.
He's quick with some numbers.
Yeah.
Coyotes. Big coyotes, like 3-4 blocks from our house.
Really?
These giant coyotes running across the road. I mean, I'm talking, 50 pounds plus. They're big.
I'm trying to think where they're coming from, but you got some open space by you there.
Yep. You have a lot of woods.
To the north, right?
Yep.
That's still all open to the north?
That's all undeveloped, yep.
Yeah.
So it's pretty wild.
Huh, cool.
Never saw those growing up. We got coyotes, folks.
We got a fox in our neighborhood.
Do you?
Yep.
Oh.
I literally got a video of them. He's in our neighbor's. So our neighbor has our house listed, and they're gone. So it's a vacant home, and it's listed to the west.
To the west.
Yep. And so, he was just walking up and down their driveway one day, and I just went over there, and I was like in ours, like just recording him. And he's looking at me, and I'm looking at him, and he just kind of skirts off, and so
wild. It's wild. Folks, we got a big show planned this morning. We're going to be giving away a pair of tickets to the Timberwolves, an upcoming playoff game. So that is super exciting. The T-Wolves are in the playoffs. To win a pair of tickets to the T-Wolves, give us a call with your real estate questions. The phone lines are open at 651-647-2910. That is the calling number to the studio. We'll keep that line open throughout the show. The studio line again, call us with your real estate questions, anything and everything real estate related. Get your questions answered and get a chance to win a pair of tickets to Timberwolves' upcoming playoff game. The best question this morning, you're going to win those tickets at 651-647-2910. That is the call number to the studio. Give us a call with your questions at 651-647-2910. We also have a text line. I don't have it written down.
763-443-5664. One more time. That's 763-443-5664 for your text questions to get you in on that potential to win a pair of Timberwolves tickets.
Yeah. Playoffs, baby.
Playoffs.
We've given away all the regular season. Now we're giving away playoff tickets.
They're still hot.
I think the last couple games they came up short, but in the last month they've been really hot.
They're just resting for the playoffs because they're in for sure, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. I feel like there's 2 tiers of playoffs this year. Maybe there's like an opening round and then kind of like the bye for football.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of teams have byes in the beginning.
I think the first round is best of 5 series, and then it goes to a best of 7 after that.
Is that
for
what it is?
the subsequent rounds, I think.
Huh. I like it.
So they better be on their game. That's exciting that they made it back. It's It's been a while.
It has been a long time, and they're fun to watch. There's a lot of energy. They're doing a lot of dunks and a lot of fast play, so it's exciting. So, folks, if you'd like to win a pair of tickets to the T-Wolves, give us a call this morning with your real estate question. The phone lines are open at 651-647-2910 to win Timberwolves tickets. We're giving away one pair for the best question at 651-647-2910. The text line, you can also win via text. Text your real estate questions to 763-443-5664. The text line is 763-443-5664. All right, today's show, we're going to be talking about how to buy in a tight market. We're going to be talking about the mortgage rates. We're going to be talking about maybe some market statistics. We've got Evan Little here. Also, not only the great producer, but the insurance master magician.
Insurance.
Insurance
we gotta come up.
Maybe we'll call you an elder, an insurance elder.
That hurts, man. I'm in my 30s still. I'm not that old.
Well, I mean, an elder represents, lots of knowledge. So I think, not necessarily it means you're old.
I don't want to be wise. I want to be young and beautiful.
Synonym,
you can have both. You can have both.
Synonym for guru.
Guru.
See what comes up.
There's going to be a lot of good stuff.
Master,
19
tutor,
strategy, tutor. No, I don't like that.
authority,
Authoritarian.
guiding light.
He's an authoritarian insurance guru.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely me.
I like
Totally.
guiding light.
The guy
He's our insurance guiding light.
Yes, I am the voice from beyond. Hang on, let me remove my video. There we go.
That's what we're gonna.
That's the omnipresent voice that tells you to mitigate risk.
It's like
He's our insurance guiding
Wizard
light.
of Oz. He's like the Wizard of Oz guy behind the curtain.
That's right.
That guy. All right, folks. If you'd like to win Timberwolves tickets, give us a call at 651-647-2910. That is the call number to the studio. Best real estate question is going to win a pair of tickets to upcoming Timberwolves playoff game. Studio lines are open. Give us a call to win. Best question will win one pair. 651-647-2910 is the studio line. You can also win via text. Text your real estate questions to 763-443-5664. Again, the text line is 763-443-5664. Should we do some smoking hot listings?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
Smoking hot listings. The first one, Evan, I did not send you, so I'll do that one first. Ryan Beardsley on the team has a new listing. He's got coming soon on the 27th, going live on the 31st. It is located at 8810 Hawthorne Drive in Eden Prairie. A turnkey home with gorgeous living spaces and quality updates is awaiting you. This home features soaring vaulted ceilings, many built-ins, updates throughout, includes quartz countertops, updated range dishwasher, enameled cabinets, gas fireplace, great walk-in closets. This home is priced incredibly well, $340,000. Again, located at 8810 Hawthorne Drive in Eden Prairie. For more information about this, give Ryan a call at 612-991-2630. All right, what else we got here? That's a cool house. Oh, Wyoming, brand new listing. Excuse me. This one went live yesterday. Showings begin, folks, at 8 a.m. this morning. In 49 minutes, you can take a look at this home. Brand new single-family home listing in Wyoming, Minnesota, located at 5473 Wyoming Trail. It is a 1.5-story single-family home with 1,381 square feet. We have 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 2-car detached garage. It is on a very large lot. I think we're over almost a half acre lot in the city of Wyoming, and priced, hold on to your seats, priced at $250,000. Showings begin at 8 a.m. this morning for a fantastic house. And he's got hardwood floors, a ton of updates in this house. Really cute house on the market today at $250,000. Investment opportunity, folks, in Aiken, Minnesota, on the north shores of Mille Lacs. A 4-acre parcel. It has 32 RV sites, 26 boat slips. The name of this resort is Docks Harbor. If you're interested in investment opportunity, maybe a new lifestyle, a resort owner-operator, this is an opportunity for you, located at 39629 State Highway 18 in Aiken, Minnesota. On the market for $2.5 million. Opportunity to expand the boat slips because we've got so much lake frontage. Really a fantastic opportunity with opportunity for expansion. In Egan, we've got it coming soon. This property goes live on April 11th. Coming soon, a single-family home in Egan located at 4118 Pennsylvania Avenue. 1,893 square foot, 2-story, 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 2-car garage. This home is also priced incredibly well at $379,000 for this home in Egan, again located at 4118 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Great backyard, big deck.
Yeah, this is a fantastic property. Got a shed. Very nice. Moving over to St. Paul, we've got a really cool condo for sale. Love the front elevation of this building. 902 square feet, 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom. We've got a deck off the back. We've got additional storage, assigned off-street parking. A lot of really cool features. Exposed brick wall in the great room, fireplace, open floor plan. On the market for $250,000 in St. Paul, located at 600 Summit Avenue in St. Paul. Pebble Creek Custom Homes has a couple lots left in the Twin Ponds development in Savage, Minnesota. Lots range in price from $110,000 to $145,000. All the lots are half acre or larger. We have a to-be-built with Pebble Creek in that development located on Sumner Avenue. It is a 2,400 square foot foundation Rambler. This is a beautiful floor plan. We've built this before in the wilds. Really, really cool finishings throughout. And this to-be-built is on the market for $995,000. Was that a bless you? Was that a sneeze?
Yeah, that was.
Bless you.
Thank you.
In Edina, we've got a really cool high-end condo for sale in the Weston Towers, the Galleria, located at 3209 Galleria, unit number 807, 865 square feet. This property, this home has been completely renovated. New kitchen, new bathroom, new bathrooms. It's a 1-bedroom, 2-bathroom. Again, 865 square feet, high-end finishings throughout. The views are incredible. And this property is on the market for $650,000, located in Edina. We've got a commercial opportunity in Duluth, Minnesota. 30,000 square feet sitting on, 5 acres. This is a commercial property located at 327 West 1st Street in Duluth, on the market for $1.75 million.
Did you say it's sitting on 5 acres?
That's what it says. It says, no, wrong. 5 units.
There we go. I was going to say,
Thank you.
The building's big, but it is not that big.
No, thank you for the correction. 1/3 of an acre. I was only off by like 15 times. The lot is actually 15 times smaller than originally mentioned.
That's what you should say. Make it sound bigger. This lot is only 15 times smaller than 5 acres.
I don't know. That might make it sound smaller.
Yeah. Sits on a 5 acre divided by 15 lot.
There you go. See?
Man, we're getting clever with our marketing this morning. Another development opportunity in Dundas, Minnesota, 130 acres, located at 1736 Millersburg Boulevard West in Dundas, Minnesota. Commercial zoned, a half acre of Interstate 35 frontage. Tremendous opportunity for development. Again, 130 acres, priced at $5.2 million.
That's 26 times the size of a 5 acre lot.
Look at that. Man, he's on. Did you do that in your head?
I did.
That's really impressive.
It's that new math.
I just see numbers.
That's right.
Ones and zeros. In Prior Lake, Pebble Creek Custom Homes is building in the Cardinal Ridge development located on Sims Court. 16094 Sims Court. Lots range in price from $110,000 to $875,000. They have a to-be-built as well. This is a 2-story. $950,000, 2,900 square feet above ground finished. This is a really cool development. 9 lots on 5 acres. I might get it right.
How many? You got 9 lots?
Got 9 lots
On 5 acres.
on 5 acres. So they're all about a half acre. They're all walkout, surrounded by another 12 acres of preserves. So you've got some nice privacy. Cool development in the Prior Lake. It's off of Sims Court in Prior Lake, right across the street from the Twin Oaks and Hidden Oaks Middle Schools. Great location. Prior Lake Savage School District. All right, last smoking hot listing of the day. This property, folks, is one of the coolest properties we've ever marketed. It has 425 feet of private shoreline. It sits on 1 acre. Opportunity to remodel a pagoda-style home, very unique, super cool, or a new development opportunity to build a new property as well. This home sits on a lot of just over 1 acre, and it's on the market for $2 million. This is in the Lake Pepin area. Folks, for more information about these smoking hot listings, you go to our website, minnesotahometalk.com, and click on the property search button. We've got a lot of really cool features on our website. Of course, you can connect with RE/MAX Advantage Plus, Illuminate Home Loans, Pebble Creek Custom Homes, Bella Remodeling and Roofing, Todd Rooker. I think Todd's going to be stopping in. He might join us for the last part of the show.
Sweet.
He's going to be recording his show or doing his show live in here.
He's going to be doing his show live in here.
Doing his show live in here. And so we'll probably have Todd on. His show is called Cover Your Assets. It's right after our show. Great, fantastic show. He does a really excellent job. Paragon. Well, I think they changed that.
Yeah.
They did change that.
I didn't pester you about it, and somehow it managed to happen anyway.
I think Liz might have taken care of that. So nice job, Liz. It's right. Paragon, last switch. We've got Nepsis. Our good friend Joshua Big England.
Yep.
That's his full name.
Shows on his Social Security card. I've done a loan for him, so I can verify that. That's what it says on
That's
there.
what it says.
Yep.
2 lines, takes up 2 lines.
Yep.
It's a totally real Social Security card. Too.
Yep.
You can tell because the number printed on it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
We've got Credit Life. We've got Jared has been coming into the show about once a month. He brings in a lot of really fantastic information about credit improvement, positioning yourself to receive the best financing out there. And so they do a great job. Brian, Jared, and the whole team over at Credit Life. Trademark title, Urban Landworks Home Inspections with Neil Mullenberg Spare Key. We have Sync Home Services if you're looking for a home warranty. We've got EKJ Appraisals, Trend Home Staging, Sioux Falls Real Estate with Marcus Walgrave. You know, a lot of folks in the last couple years have made the decision to move out of Minnesota for a number of different reasons. One of those destinations that they are going to is Sioux Falls, South Dakota. If you are interested in that market in Sioux Falls or really anywhere in the state of South Dakota, my brother Marcus Walgrave can help with that move. We work partner with him and his team to help people relocate from the Twin Cities to Sioux Falls and from Sioux Falls to the Twin Cities or anywhere else in Minnesota. So if you have a relocation coming up and you're moving that direction or from that direction to here, we can help you out. Chestnut Cambron, we got our good buddy Jeff O'Brien. I had lunch with Jeff the other day.
You did?
I did. I think it was on Thursday. We had lunch talking about some legal stuff. He brought in his estate planning expert, and so we had a nice lunch at Cameron Bay. You ever eaten there?
Back in the day. Derek took me there years ago.
So Cameron Bay, Evan, this is a Vietnamese restaurant in Burnsville. I've been going there for 20 years.
20 years.
20 years. Get the same thing every time.
Is this like a real been going there for 20 years?
Really, really going there 20 years. I get the same thing every time.
Sometimes the amount of time that you give out doesn't actually comport with what I would call a relationship with the truth.
Are you saying that I may exaggerate on the amount of time that we've been on this radio show?
Or
the number of shows that we've done?
I don't want to lay that accusation on you too hard, but yes, that is exactly what I'm saying.
The quality of content that we deliver to our faithful listeners?
No, there's no exaggeration there. This is the best real estate show that's ever been made.
Ever.
And it's happening right now.
Right now.
I think what Jason is trying to say is that the content that we bring per show is worth about probably, 100 shows each, maybe.
I would say
so
that's
if you take the content, but then it's worth 100 shows for every one show, and then you do that, it's like 50,000 shows worth of content.
Exactly.
Yeah, in one hour, we managed to get across every possible nuance and in every aspect of real estate across the globe.
Yep. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's what we do.
It would be if someone listened to 100 different radio shows from someone else, of course, some other radio show. Let's just take the top 10 real estate radio shows in the country. You take 100 of them out of the top 10, and then we take out 1 hour's worth of spectacular content. We condense it into an hour, and we give that to you every week.
Yep. That's how that math works right there.
Yep. Totally. 100%.
And we entertain ourselves. I mean, I find myself very funny.
I mean,
times.
we're two of the funniest guys in the room right now. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. I mean, for sure that,
You're definitely in the top three, yeah.
Yes.
All right, folks, you want to go to Timberwolves game on us? We're giving away tickets, playoff tickets, actually.
Playoffs.
T-Wolves are in the playoffs. We're giving away a pair of playoff tickets to the best real estate question. Phone lines are open. Give us a call if you'd like to win. 651, the studio lines are open at 651-647-2910. That is the call-in number. Give us a call if you'd like to win Timberwolves tickets, playoff tickets. One big winner for the best real estate question. Studio lines are open at 651-647-2910. Give us a call to win tickets. Best real estate question is going to win. 651-647-2910. We also have a text line you can win via text. So text us your real estate questions to win free playoff Timberwolves tickets. One big winner for the best real estate question. Text in to 763-443-5664. The text line to the studio, folks, is 763-443-5664.
We did get a text question, by the way, and I'm going to throw it up on the screen right now.
Text question. Here we go.
Andy asks, what's the best way to insulate a crawl space in a rental property? Is it worth trying to DIY, or would a pro be worth the cash?
Oh, I mean, here's what I've seen. I've seen poly put down in those spaces where they cover the whole the ground with poly, and then they're doing some type of insulation on top. I'd call somebody in. I wouldn't do that myself. I'd call somebody in to make sure that it's done right. What you don't want is to do it incorrectly and then get some type of moisture intrusion or moisture that stays in there that then gets to the rest of the house.
Is that the biggest concern, you think? That you actually might be trapping moisture in?
That would be my biggest concern. That you don't do it properly and you're trapping moisture in the walls or the floors or whatever the case is. I mean, there's probably some good YouTube videos out there too, but I'd hire somebody, I'd have somebody come in and make sure it's done right. It's a great question though. I don't think we've ever had that question.
No, that's definitely a first.
That is a really good question. Folks, if you have real estate questions and you'd like to win Timberwolves tickets, give us a text question. You can send it to our text line at 763-443-5664. That is the text line to win Timberwolves tickets. One pair of playoff tickets for the best real estate question. Text lines are open at 763-443-5664.
Got another quick text message question for you. Wow, I struggled to get that one.
Oh,
That's going on the blooper. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Rob asks, how does the Federal Reserve increasing rates affect mortgage rates?
it's a great question from Rob. Mm-hmm. Got that question a lot lately.
Is it Rob from St. Paul or Rob from
Minneapolis?
Depends on which side of the building he's standing on.
Is it Rob from the other side of the glass?
Yeah, pretty much. Rob, who's lurking around here.
It's a great question, and to be honest with you, it's the biggest misconception as far as rates in the mortgage world. So here's what happens. When you hear that the feds are raising rates, what they are raising is the Fed's funds rate, also known as prime. Okay? Mm-hmm. That does not directly impact mortgage rates. Like what they are raising.
Transformers, like Optimus Prime?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So what they are raising are short-term rates. Short-term rates are auto loans, home equity lines of credit, things like that.
Okay.
When short-term rates go up, typically long-term rates go down. And mortgage rates are long-term rates, 20-year fixed, 30-year fixed, right? Those are long-term rates. So as the feds raise rates, our mortgage rates go down. Mm-hmm. And so it's actually a good thing that the feds are going to be raising rates later this year, more than likely several times. That's going to help decrease inflation, and that will also help our mortgage rates go down.
Okay, good.
So just remember that. So don't, and the media doesn't tell you that, and probably because they don't know that.
Right.
All they hear, too, is that the feds announce that they're going to raise rates. The world's coming to an end. So just know that that's actually a good thing for mortgage rates. That's going to help keep our rates down when it comes to the long-term rates, which are, again, mortgages and things like that.
Rates right now, what are they looking like on a 30-year fixed?
It has not been a good start to the year, Jason. You know that.
I do.
So I actually, but right before the show, I pulled up the chart. I pulled up the mortgage-backed securities market here, and the activity in that market directly impacts what happens with mortgage rates. So as that market goes down, rates go up. We are sitting at the end of yesterday. You're looking at probably 4.875. If you have a big down payment and you got top tier credit and stuff, you might be able to drift just a little bit underneath that. But in most cases, you're doing a 5% down conventional top tier credit, you're sitting at 4.875 on a 30-year fixed.
Okay.
Now, the last time, we were also talking about this before the show, the last time rates got to 5.125 was, you remember?
18 or 19?
November of 2018.
Yep.
They touched it and then came back down. Who knows what's going to happen this time? We might be holding this level here for a little bit. You got to remember, inflation's a beast right now.
Yep.
That's what's causing rates to go up, mortgage rates to go up. It's not the feds. It's inflation that's causing that. And so the feds are trying to hedge inflation. They're trying to slow down inflation by raising short-term rates, and that's one of the main tools that they have to use to then lower inflation. But here's another stat, too, and I don't think that we brought this up on previous weeks. Out of all the money circulating in the U.S. right now, how much of that money, so what percentage of that money was printed within the last 2 years?
10%?
70%.
50%. 50% of the money circulating in our country right now has been printed within the last 2 years. So, of course, inflation's going to be there. When you inject that much money in that short a time into our economy, the dollar is going to be worth less because you just threw a bunch of it out there.
Interesting.
And so now we're reaping the aftermath of that, right? The COVID stuff, the stimulus checks, all that stuff, the printing of the money. Now we are dealing with basically the aftermath of that, trying to clean up the mess, if you will, if that's for lack of a better term. But and that's why we're in this situation here. So if you look at all the industry experts, including our insurance monarch himself over here.
I like that, insurance monarch.
I just came up with that.
That was good.
What's probably going to happen is all arrows are pointing towards a recession next year, either late this year or early next year. Pretty much, I'm at the mindset now is that everyone that I'm doing a purchase loan for this year, I'm going to be refinancing next year. I think rates are going to stay in this high 4 to around 5 elevated, level for a little bit. And when I say elevated, that's just compared to the previous 2 years.
Right.
It's actually a very low interest rate if you look at the average 30-year fixed over the last 40 years, right? So take that into context. But everyone who's doing a loan this year, a purchase loan this year, is probably going to be refinancing next year because once we go into recession, if rates can stay around the 5 and not really drift any higher than that, we're probably going to see rates that go back and down into the 3s.
Yep.
And then everyone, like I said, who's buying this year is going to refinance next year.
Yep. I think that's a good point to bring up because I think there's some buyers out there that are thinking, I'm not going to buy because the rates are too high. The rates are not too high, folks. Like Mike said, if you look at the 40-year average, it's over 8%. Anything below 5% is a really fantastic rate.
Absolutely.
It really is. And this unnaturally low interest rates over the last couple of years, a lot of it, driven by COVID, low 3s, mid 3s, high 3s. This isn't realistic. We knew that it wasn't going to maintain those levels. And again, anything below 5 is great. But if you are concerned about it, Mike brings up a great point. You know what? You get into your house, you buy at today's price, at today's value. And if the rates go down next year, then you have an opportunity to refinance and lock into that lower rate. So
right.
You don't have to think you're going to pay for that rate or have that interest rate for an entire 30 years when you have the opportunity to do a refinance in coming years.
Yep.
So,
another thing that's coming out of this too is ARMs. People are asking a little bit more about adjustable rate mortgages, and the reason why is because they think that they're going to be refinancing within the next couple years.
Yep.
So I just had a couple that was 30-year fixed, 30-year fixed, 30-year fixed, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, what does a 7-1 ARM look like? And I said, well, this is what it looks like.
what does it look like?
So for their situation, it was either a 4.875 30-year fixed or a 4.125 7-1 ARM.
Wow.
And a bigger loan amount, 558 loan amount, right?
Yep.
So that starts making a difference, especially at that
Sure
loan
it
amount.
does.
3/4 less on a 7-1 ARM. And they came back like, yeah, we want to do the 7-1 ARM.
Yep.
Gives us 7 years to basically figure it out, if you will. And we think we'll be refinancing to a 30-year fix that starts with the 3s, within that 7 years, because they're seeing the same thing I am.
Yep.
Inflation's going to be coming, or inflation's going to be coming. A recession is going to be coming.
Yep.
Rates should float down, and then we'll just take it. We'll grab that opportunity when it comes around.
What did you price out 5-1 or 3-1 ARMs?
I didn't. It was they were looking between a 7 and a 10. So a 7 was 4.125 and a 10 was 4.25.
Okay. Wow.
And so they were just like, yeah, we'll be refinancing within 7 years.
Yeah.
So we'll just take the lower rate, gives us 7 years versus doing 4.25 for 10 years.
I think we're going to see more and more of that. Actually, maybe during next week's show, we'll bring in some examples of a 30-year conventional, 30-year FHA, and then maybe look at the 10, 7, 5, and 3-1 ARMs and just see what's available today. I'd be curious on what those are. So
yeah,
it's good stuff. Folks, we're giving away Timberwolves tickets. Would you like to go? The best real estate question's going to win. We have the studio lines open. Call into the studio. We'd love to hear from you. Best real estate question is going to win Timberwolves tickets to an upcoming playoff game. Studio lines are open at 651-647-2910. Studio lines are open at 651-647-2910. You can also win via text. Text your real estate questions to 763-443-5664. The text line here to the studio. Text your real estate questions to win playoff Timberwolves tickets. One big winner for the best question. The text line is 763. Text your real estate questions to 763-443-5664. The text line again, 763-443-5664. All right, folks, what are we talking about today? Is it a tight market? Is it a tight market in the Twin Cities metro area? Where are my stats? If I can find my stats, here they are. Yes, it is. Inventory of homes for sale, 4,500.
Okay.
You gave me the pause. I was supposed to pause.
Like we should have some eerie music, suspenseful,
eerie music, yes.
suspenseful, and then 4,500.
Like Jaws music.
Yeah.
4,500 homes for sale. Last year we had 5,300, so that's down 16%. A normal or a healthy market is 20,000 homes on the market, 20,000 listings, and we're at 4,500 currently. Pending home sales in the last 3 months, 10,526. A year ago, we were at 11,946, so that's down 12%. I know, down 12%. Median sale price, however, is $333. $333. A year ago, we were at $301. That's up 10.6%. Median sale price is up 10.6%.
Here's another stat. So you brought that up, right? So this is a national stat. Over the last 12 months, what's the dollar amount in equity that the average homeowner in America has gained? So last 12 months, average dollar amount.
I would say in the country?
In the country, national average.
Probably $30,000.
Evan, want to take a stab at that?
I'm sorry, I was doing phone stuff. I didn't hear the question.
Over the last 12 months, what has the average U.S. homeowner made in dollars in appreciation on their house? Nationally, 12 months, average dollar amount.
On a national level?
Yep.
Boy, that's tough. I'm going to guess it's somewhere around 25.
55,300.
Whoa.
So owning a house, the national average, if you've owned a house over the last 12 months, you've gained an average of 55,300.
That is incredible.
That is incredible.
That is incredible. That is a big number. That's about double what I thought it was.
So imagine this if you go back to last year and you were like, do I buy? Do I rent another year? Do I buy? Do I rent another year? For those of you that bought a house, you are $55,300 richer today by doing it.
Yep.
Right? Those who didn't buy a house, you just missed out on $55,300.
Not to mention the tax benefits that come along with owning a home.
Right.
So some other stuff. We got a question?
We've got a caller on the line. We've got Chris. Chris, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sweet. Go ahead with your question, Chris.
Kind of ties into what you guys were just talking about with that increase. Like you say, $55,000. Reminds me a lot of what was happening in 05, 06, and then everything crashed in 07. What is different with this market as far as leading indicators or anything else that tells you it's not going to happen again? Or is it something where you go, yeah, you know what, I missed out on that big boom. Now just wait until it crashes before I purchase.
It's a great question.
It is a great question.
Mike, you want to start?
So I'll talk on the loan side of things. I'll have Jason talk on the real estate side of things. So if you look at the mortgage industry back then versus now, back then, lower credit score requirements, no income documentation requirements. Call your buddy who's an appraiser and say, I need this value on this house to make this deal work. And magically the appraisal comes back at that value, right? So loose lending guidelines back then, to be honest with you, I think was the major cause of that. Way too many people were getting loans to buy homes where they shouldn't have been getting loans. You fast forward to today. So all the regulations there's no stated income loan. So stated income loan was a loan that you didn't have to prove your income. You basically just tell us what you make. We put that on the application, and that's what we're going to use.
There's basically no underwriting. The underwriting was you write your name on a sheet and say, I can afford this house. And then the bank would go, awesome. Great, let's do it.
So here is literally a conversation I had a week and a half ago. So I'm doing a refinance for someone who was in the mortgage industry back then. And World Savings was one of the leaders in the stated income negative AM loan, negative amortization. Okay. Their program was if all you got to do to prove self-employment was have a business card. You have a business card that proves you have self-employment, and then you can go stated income. So you could just tell us what you make for income. Stated assets, you just tell us what you have in your bank account. We won't verify anything. We'll give you the loan, right? You got to meet minimum credit scores at that point, things like that. So anyway, this particular person is like, we literally in our office, we had a business card generator. So someone would come in.
Oh, my goodness.
Someone would come in and say, hey, we want to get a loan, this and that, blah, 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 and be like, you got this credit score, you got 5% down, World will give you a loan. So you're self-employed, and then you go to the machine, and it's like, oh, you have a landscaping company, here's your business card. Jeez. Literally, that's what it was back in the day.
They probably weren't even handing that person the card. They were probably just sending it to the underwriter.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you have one extreme of like, it's just, right? We used to make a joke of it. If you could fog a mirror, you can get a loan.
Yep.
That's what it is. Today's world, everything is documented. 2 years worth of tax returns, 2 years worth of W-2s. Call in to verify employment. Yep. We have to call within 5 days or 3 days of closing to re-verify employment.
Yep. And repull credit, don't you, before closing?
And then there's a credit refresh within 10 days of closing to make sure that you haven't opened up any accounts that you didn't tell us about, and run up your balances that dropped your credit score. All this type of stuff, right? So that's on the underwriting side of things. Plus, they also added in the appraisal deal, right? So no loan officer can call up an appraiser and say, hey, can you do this order for me? We don't get to talk to appraisers anymore. Right. There's a third party in the middle where we send our order in. That third party then farms that order out to a licensed appraiser in that zip code. We don't know which appraiser got it. We don't know what's going to happen with it until that appraisal comes back. Well, now the appraisal's already done. The value's already there, right? We can't go back and say, hey, we needed a higher value to make this work.
Right.
So you have appraisals that are highly regulated now, and you have the whole income thing where everything is triple documented as far as income goes.
And then there's a whole nother aspect too, which was the mortgages that were being used back then were almost all adjustable rate, unaffordable rate hikes after a couple years, where people, even if they could afford those initial payments, started getting forced out of the houses. So you had this really high kind of phantom foreclosure rate.
Right.
Yeah.
Almost everything nowadays is fixed.
30-year fixed, yeah.
Almost the entire market is fixed.
Yeah, negative amortization loans don't even exist anymore.
Yeah.
There is a great movie out there called The Big Short, and that
It is
movie,
a great movie.
Is very accurate to why we had the housing bubble and in the crisis in 07, 08. It's a great movie. It's a fictional movie, but it's actually very accurate to what historically happened. So I do not believe that we're in a housing bubble, and I do not believe that values are going to go down, specifically in the Twin Cities market. I believe that the rate of appreciation will be less and will slow, but I don't think values are going to go down. We've been talking about interest rates going up, and they have gone up a ton the first quarter of this year, and that's so rates have gone up. I don't think values are going to go down. And the last week's show we talked about the whole cost of waiting. If you wait a year and what that means. And so,
when we were doing those numbers, you can go back if you go to the Minnesota Home Talk Facebook page. We have all of our past shows that we've been doing video podcasts. By all means, you can look at that. We used really quite conservative numbers across the board. We used a low rental increase number and a very low appreciation number. Off the top of my head, I think it was like an annual 4% or something like that.
We use that. Yeah.
Which obviously the last couple of years, it's been much higher than that. But even before the last 2.5 years, 4% would be on the low side in the Twin Cities.
Yep.
So you can look at how that breaks down. I think yeah, if we really get doom and gloom and say, oh, there's a recession on the horizon and stuff, absolutely, that's going to slow down the housing market. But the key indicators, like you were asking about, Chris, are pretty significantly different than 15, 20 years ago.
And the inventory is a big deal.
That's the other thing too.
I mean, it's a big. So after the crash happened in 07, 08, for the next 5 years, where builders and developers were typically building homes at the rate that they are now, they didn't build much. And so there was a 5-year period where there was 70% less homes being built for half a decade. That has also contributed to the low inventory right now because there was a period of homes not being built. So, Chris, I don't think we're in a bubble. I think that again, the rate of appreciation will be less this year than it was last year. But I also think the interest rates are going to continue to be a little bit higher than they were. So, really good question. Really good question. You bet. Thanks for calling in.
Here's the other thing too that's different now than then was people have equity. Back then when the crash was happening, no one had equity. No one had down payment money into it. Everyone was doing 100% financing, right? And then they were cash out refinancing with a fake appraisal 2 years down the road, right? With an inflated appraisal because they could call their buddy the appraiser, right? So we had all those things coming into play. And when the market crashed and push came to shove and they couldn't afford the payment, it's like, I owe $600,000 on this thing. It's really only worth $4,000. So I'm $200,000 upside down. I didn't put any money into it.
Yep.
I'm just going to let it go back to the bank.
Yeah, there was a lot of walk away.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just it as it goes back to those negative amortization loans and things like that. Now you go 5 years down the road for any buyer in the market, and they're going to have some amount of equity. Right. Unless there's some sort of really cataclysmic thing going on.
Yeah, the equity is a big part of it. I remember back in 05, there was a lot of 80-20 programs out there. So 80% first mortgage, 20% second mortgage. And then after you closed, you could go get a third mortgage for up to 120% of the value.
Right.
And I've got friends and investor clients of mine that I've been working with for 20 years. And I can remember walking through an apartment building with them, showing it to them. And I was talking about this and they're from Thunder Bay. And he goes, what? He goes, what do you mean a third mortgage, 20% above what the value is? And I said, yeah, that's what they're doing. He said, I've never heard of anything so crazy in my life. Because think about that. A third mortgage company who has third position is going to lend you 20% more than what the property is worth in a loan.
Right.
That's risky.
That thing goes under. First mortgage gets their money first.
Yep.
Second mortgage company gets their money second. Third mortgage company gets their money third. And what do you sell that thing for? I mean, a foreclosure typically sells for what percentage underneath a non-foreclosure?
We used to say 10 to 15%. Would a distress sale would be 10 to 15% less than market.
Yeah. So at that point, first mortgage gets their 80% back. Second mortgage gets 5% of the 20% that they lended back.
Yep.
Third mortgage company gets a thumbs up and a stick of gum. And that's all they get at the end. They get nothing for it.
Folks, we got the phone lines open. We're taking questions this morning, real estate questions, anything and everything real estate related. If you'd like to go to a playoff game for the Timberwolves, give us a call. The best question is going to win. Studio lines are open at 651-647-2910. Give us a call. The studio lines are open, 651-647-2910. The best real estate question is going to win a pair of tickets to an upcoming playoff game for the Minnesota Timberwolves. We also have a text line. You can win tickets via text. Text us your real estate questions, anything and everything real estate related, to 763. The text line is 763-443-5664. You can text your real estate questions to win Timberwolves tickets to 763-443-5664.
You were talking about second and third mortgages, and we got a question about second mortgages.
Yeah.
Which is pretty simple. Mike, what's the general ballpark of interest rates you're seeing on second mortgages right now? We talked a lot about first mortgage rates, but what about second mortgage rates?
I mean, it depends on, again, credit score, how much equity, right? How much equity are leaving in the house after you take out that second mortgage, and the type of second mortgage. Are you doing a 20-year fixed? Are you doing a 5/1 ARM? Are you doing a home equity line of credit?
Yep.
Right now, second mortgages are going to range from probably on a 5-year ARM where you're only going up to 80% loan to value, combined loan to value, 3.25.
Oh, well, that's really good.
It's really good.
Yeah, wow.
When a first mortgage 30-year fix is at 4.875.
Jeez.
Right? All the way up to if you're trying to borrow 95% against your house and you have maybe a lower credit score and you're doing a 20-year fix, that's going to be at 6.75.
Wow, that's a big
so your range
yeah.
your range is going to be determined upon what your qualifications are and how much you're looking to get.
So here's a question for you. So let's say you've got a first mortgage and it's a really low mortgage. Maybe it's 20% you got 80% equity. Can you take out a second mortgage for the 60% remaining to bring you to 80 for the 3.25?
If you want to.
Jeez.
Yep. You got to remember that's on a 5/1 ARM.
Yep.
It's on a 20-year amortization.
Okay.
So that's going to be the payment's going to be calculated over 20 years and not 30 years. So the payment on that's going to be higher, right? So, but if the payment's not what you're looking for, if you're like the payment doesn't matter, I just want to pay the least amount of interest.
Yep.
That'd be a great way to go. Absolutely.
Fascinating. Folks, we got the phone lines open. If you'd like to go to a Timberwolves game on us, we're giving away a pair of Timberwolves playoff tickets
Got about 10 minutes.
Got about 10 minutes. What am I doing?
Timberwolves
Call
tickets.
in 651-647-2910. Sorry, I interrupted you. That's my fault. 651.
Gotta be focused.
647-2910 is the call-in number, or you can text us 763-443-5664. That's 763-443-5664. Text in your real estate related questions. Win yourself a pair of Timberwolves tickets, maybe.
Playoff tickets, indeed.
Playoffs.
How to buy a home in a tight market.
Oh yeah, that's our topic.
That is our topic.
We should probably get to that.
We should probably get to that since we got 8 minutes left. How to buy a home in a tight market. Number one, you got to get pre-qualified for a mortgage. You have got to be pre-qualified for a mortgage, and I would say even pre-approved is better. So what's the difference? Pre-qualified is just a quick glance, run your credit and take a quick glance. A pre-approval is you've collected all the documents, verified employment, looking at W-2s, tax returns, and they're pre-approved.
Yep. So great example of self-employed borrower. Pre-qualified is you're going to fill out an application for me. I'm going to pull your credit. You're basically going to tell me what you make because I don't have tax returns at that point and stuff to be able to calculate that out. So you tell me what you make and I say, okay, based on what you're telling me, this is roughly how much you can get qualified for and this is what it looks like. Now, when I get those tax returns, guess what? I guarantee it's going to be a different answer. I guarantee it.
That was going to be my question. How often is the information different from the actual verified information?
99.9%.
I mean, it's a lot different.
And I think that, folks, let's be clear. We're not suggesting that most people are giving inaccurate information on purpose, but you just don't know. So you think, well, I make about this, and you're not taking into consideration all the things that are on the text.
Yeah, exactly. And so the way that underwriting calculates usable income for a self-employed borrower is not just your gross of what's coming in, right? So we have to take expenses out, but then we get to add back in depreciation. We can add back in some mileage and things like that. So I guarantee no consumer out there knows what that calculation, that equation is, basically. And so that's why, especially, I bring up self-employed because that's the biggest, that's the biggest difference that we see is like, what do they tell us versus what can we use? And sometimes it's lower than what we can use is what they tell us. Sometimes it's higher. If you want to actually know, that's when we need tax returns. We need the documents. Then I can tell you exactly what it looks like.
And there's also things that are recalculated back into the qualification, and based on your experience with looking at tax returns and figuring out, okay, well, we can use that, or we can work that back into, for the income. And so it's so important to be working with a mortgage team that has tremendous experience in working with the 1099 or the self-employed borrower or business owner or all of that, because not everybody knows how to read them and make adjustments that they can.
And the best part about this time of the year for self-employed, more than likely you haven't filed your taxes yet.
Yes.
And so when you come to me, I'm looking at your 19s and your 20s, and I'm saying, okay, this is what it looks like today. But if you show X amount on your 21s, this is what you qualify for. So people will come to me and say, I want to qualify for a $400,000 house. Mm-hmm. Okay, great. You qualify for a $300,000 house today. So if you want that $400,000 house, this is what your 2021's tax returns need to show for income. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have to pay the taxes on it, okay? But as long as you're prepared to pay the taxes on it and you want to show this, I can get you qualified for that $400,000 house. Then it's up to them to make the decision. Do I show the income, pay the taxes on it so I can get the house, or do I not?
Yep, absolutely. But it gives you options, and that's what you guys do a fantastic job at. Todd, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great.
Look at that. We got him on camera.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm just listening to say one of the biggest challenges is do they have a downtrend as a business person? Mm-hmm. Because that downtrend takes you. It's a good point you should make. So you're enjoying the average of the last 2 years, but if you have a downtrend, then it's just the last bad year,
right?
And that's dramatic.
Mm-hmm. Can be.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. So we see that a lot in 2020. And it's. Even if you look at just certain industries, right? So maybe you were a sole proprietor salon person, cutting hair, coloring hair, things like that, and you weren't W-2'd and things like that. You run it through a Schedule C. You got shut down where you couldn't work for how many months there in 2020?
Yeah.
And the government came out and said, look, we understand that happened. It's unfortunate. We still have to include those 0 months into the average, 24-month average that we use, or 12-month average that we use, depending on what your situation is. So a lot of people are like, well, I didn't have the opportunity to work.
Right.
I understand that, but the government has come out and says we have to include those 0 months into the average.
So is there a minimum time that you have to wait if you are self-employed? So, for example, let's say someone started a business in June of this year, June of 2022, and the rest of 2022, they did incredibly well, and they wanted to buy a home next year. Do they have to wait 2 years? Do they have to wait 1 year? I understand that they have to take 24 months. So, but what about after 1 year they made enough money to half of that income would still qualify them for the home that they want?
So the guideline says you have to have 2 years worth of self-employment history before you can even start using the income to qualify.
Got it. So you do need 2 years.
So you need 2 years. Okay. Now there's an exception to that.
Okay.
Here's a classic example. I was working with a financial planner. Was a financial planner for Ameriprise for 10 years. W-2'd financial planner, working that. He broke off and started his own business because he had 10 years of W-2 history in that industry, right? And then broke off and did his own thing. And he showed more income on his first year's worth of tax returns than he made W-2'd. We were allowed to get him a loan. So you can cut that down to 12 months, but you got to have that long W-2 history, and you got to show that you're making more as a self-employed person in that same industry than you were making W-2.
Was that an exception?
No, that's actually in the guidelines saying that you can.
How about when it goes the other direction? How about when
it goes down?
No, but when you're self-employed, and then let's say in this pandemic you wind up going out of business or just changing and going to work as an employee, but it is in the same industry. Does it work that way too?
So then you can use that income right out of the gate. But how are you paid? Are you paid hourly or salary? Because then you can use it right out of the gate.
Okay.
Are you paid commission or bonus? Now, commission and bonus is not guaranteed, right? Now it depends on your performance. It's almost like
how about
self-employed.
another example? How about the person is? I'll give you an example. My son. 2 weeks ago was a good week for him. He worked 98.5 hours.
Oh, geez.
Well,
good and
yeah,
good in one sense, bad in the other.
Now,
But
here's the thing: for 2 years, he has never dropped below 75 hours in a week. Never. So how much of that income above 40 hours are they going to allow him to use in qualification?
So in order to use overtime income, you have to have a 2-year history of it, which it sounds like he does.
Yep.
And then you're going to take an average of what he's made over the last 24 months and use that for that income, for the overtime income piece. So he's got his 40 hours at his base rate, and then he's going to show overtime income of this much. And so they're going to take a 2-year history of that. Now, if it's declining, so if 2 years ago he was averaging 90 hours, and then this last year he's averaging 85 hours, that overtime is going to show that it's declining a little bit. So now they're going to use a 12-month average because that is going to be less than a 24-month average.
It's an interesting question whether it matters or not, and I knew the answer to that, and I think I know the answer to this too, but they pay double time for everything over 40 hours. So for the other 40 hours that he works in overtime in a week, he gets twice as much money.
Yeah.
Is that still going to be usable in that way?
Yeah. Yep.
Very good.
And it's just it's the dollar amount, right? So it's the dollar amount. So when we get his verification employment form, it's going to say this is what he's made in base, this is what he's made in overtime. Well, his overtime is going to be just as much as his base, because if he's getting paid double, if he works 20 hours worth of overtime, he just doubled his base basically.
He makes $18 an hour, and he's going to come close to making $100,000 this year.
Incredible.
Well, I'll tell you what, 75 hours a week, I think he learned that from his dad.
Yeah.
That sounds like Todd Rooker to me.
He puts in 75 hours within 2 days.
Do you have a house that needs a lot of work? Are you ready to sell, but you think no one will buy because of the condition? Folks, would you like to sell and close in as little as 7 days? Give us a call. We have clients that are buying properties that need all levels of renovation. They are cash buyers looking to purchase right now. Give us a call or check us out online at MinnesotaHometalk.com. Folks, that's MinnesotaHometalk.com. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great week.